Good evening and welcome to Naturally. We are on time and ready to go, and I have two amazing guests for you. First guest is a fashion photographer, which is one of my loves, fashion, and he's an author. And then we have a brilliant chef. So let's introduce our guests. First, we have.
Oh, we're talking. Oh, my name's Emerzy. I'm a photographer, type creative, type person. That's succinct enough.
Yeah, we're gonna get more. We're gonna get less succinct in a moment, and we have.
Hi, I'm Chef Adoniz. I specialise in English and French fine dining, also an author and a poet.
Welcome to the show. He is very
He's so
sexy.
sexy.
He is the master
Oh
of
my
sauce.
gosh.
I'm telling you,
You're
he makes the ladies
You're
weak.
right.
He makes the ladies weak. Especially when he starts with his poetry. All of that. He's the master of sauce. That's one of your nicknames, isn't it?
Sauce range is coming out soon, so
Okay, so let's begin with Emerzy.
Yeah, that's me. How you doing? What would you like to ask me?
But let's get started. Well, basically, I want to ask you about your journey. I think we met at a casting where I was leaving a casting.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, come here, take a picture.
Yeah, you saw me. He's like, come and take a picture. You made me feel very special when I actually went in.
I keep telling people she's thicker than cold peanut butter.
I like that one. I'm going to take that one. Thicker than cold peanut butter.
Go on.
So you took a picture of me, and then I went online, and I was so amazed by you. You actually said to me, check me out on Google, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gassed sometimes.
You're very gassed. And I checked you out, and it's worth checking because I saw your work, and I've been following you since then.
I appreciate you saying
Very,
that.
very, very impressed.
I appreciate you
We
saying
are
that.
waiting. We are going to do a shoot. Don't. What are you laughing for?
You know what? In my world, people, what happens, is models air.
I have
Bottled condensed
never
oxygen.
ever aired you ever.
That's
The
what happens
last
in my
time
world.
we was going to shoot, it was going to rain that day, and then we cancelled. It wasn't because I aired you.
I didn't say you aired me. I said in my world, that's what happens.
Really?
Yeah.
You get aired? I don't think so. You're kind of, for me, in my world, the photographer that people want to shoot with. That's the way I see it.
I don't know. Like, I think commercially, I don't tick all the boxes that a lot of photographers do.
In what sense?
My work's kind of naturalistic, not very over airbrushed. We have this tendency to just, we're gonna rock up to, I don't know, Shepherd's Bush tomorrow and shoot in the market, blah 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 blah. So it's all very spontaneous, and like I'm not really into that whole let's plan this shoot within the edge of its life.
Yeah.
I have a tendency that if we're gonna do that, we'll plan it within the edge of its life, and then take a left turn halfway through.
Yeah.
So, I'm very much into that kind of fluidity, that let moments happen, about capturing moments.
I think that is kind of what you're about, because your book, which was published all the way in 2010, which was the first book.
Yeah, it's smaller than the second one.
It's called Reflections, Perfect Imperfections.
Yeah.
Tell the audience a little bit about this book.
I was talking to a model, and it's a funny story. I was talking to this model, a lady called Cindy, and she said to me, and she's half naked backstage at a fashion show, and then she says to me, my man's never seen me fully naked. And I looked at her like,
Wow.
and I was like, because I can't stand things like that. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
Your man's never.
Why? And she's like, I don't know, it's just a reflex of mine. I just always cover up. And then I started doing this thing where, through that book, there's a lot of questions. We sent out maybe like 300 emails to women of colour, asking them a set of questions. What do you consider nudity is? Do you feel comfortable nude? Blah, blah, blah. What's your favourite part? There's a whole heap, and we put the quotes back in the book as the internal narrative. And on reflex, black women don't think they're hot when, like, probably the hottest type of woman on the planet, from Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, South Africa, Kenya, West Indies, South America, woman of colour. And then we've got Becky, Charlotte, and Apple. Let's use the word Apple. I like that word when they call their children Apple. Try in the gym, on the squat rack.
And I think nowadays it's funny. You're a trendsetter, really, because that book and that concept, 2010, Now where we are, we're in a time where the curves are in. It's all about having the booties, but at that time, it wasn't necessarily like that. We were moving towards it. So you kind of predicted and pulled out and elevated the Black Queen from then.
I did, but it wasn't without its backlash.
Why did you say that?
You know, like, I went through this period of time where anytime I asked a model to do something, she's like, I'm not posing naked. That was the first line out of their mouth.
Okay.
And I was like, and the one that maybe always makes me laugh is when you get into this really crazy, like, back and forth discussion, like, oh, no, I wouldn't ask you to pose naked. Oh, why wouldn't you ask me to pose naked? Well, because I can see in your frequency that you wouldn't pose naked. Yeah, but what's wrong with me? And it gets internalized, it gets changed into something that it's not.
Because there's people, women are quite conscious.
And I can't blame you lot. I really can't blame you lot. Like, 24/7, you're getting all this nonsense, like, projecting. Part of it's from men. We got to take, in all situations, you got to take 50% of it. So us black men haven't helped. But you can't put the blame solely on us. Then you've got, I don't know, maybe she's Maybelline, maybe she's born with it, L'Oreal, Dove. Then we've got like 3 generations of pain, and like I've always admired the black woman's capability of enduring pain and keeping it moving. I've always admired it. But when you have that much pain, you transfer it through your DNA.
Yeah.
So now you've got a set of sisters rolling around the space. They don't even know why they're pissed off, but they're pissed off. And like, even some of the interactions I have with women and how they're quick to, like, I don't know, defend themselves when it's not required. And like,
But then you might feel it's not required, but we might feel it's required.
and there you just prove my point.
What? I'm just saying. You know, from your perspective.
Because from my perspective on that is, every individual you meet, you read their frequency. You don't, if you make generalisms, that's when you start getting into problems. So like, you take that person, you take a moment in yourself and you read what the energy that they're projecting out to you, what that says to you, and then you respond. But if you respond with this blanket, like, then you get yourself in trouble.
I wouldn't say that was a blanket response. I'm just saying sometimes a man might say something and you almost feel like you have to explain your perspective on it. Chef, what do you think? You're a man that's surrounded by women. I see the effects. Master of sauce and all of that. Nice meat.
Well,
Anyway.
my career says I'm around a lot of men, really. But in what sense, in my opinion?
Do you feel that women are, hard on themselves and too quick to defend themselves?
I come from a single mother household and I had 4 sisters. So for
Only
me,
boy?
I got a brother too,
Okay.
but 4 women, and just seeing how they go through life and how they basically, how their opinion changes, how their moods change when a guy treats them, how they have just grown in a sense that I think it's down to a lot of things. Sometimes generational, sometimes it's down to our parents, sometimes down to our upbringing, sometimes it's our schooling, it can be our jobs, all these different things, and then the universe and the social media say we gotta look like this. One guy says you're ugly, but then the next guy says you're good looking. It's like you don't know where you stand. You seek for opinions of other people. So it's a lot of things, all
insecurities.
amalgamation of.
It's hard because I grew up in Harrow, which is predominantly white.
Was.
Well, yeah, was not white at the moment. It's more Asian at the moment. But when I was growing up, it was predominantly white. I was always the big, like you say, I'm thick like peanut butter. Quite like that one. But I was always the big.
Don't start.
The big one, and I didn't feel very beautiful.
I love peanut butter.
And the majority of the black guys would usually go out with white girls, so I kind of felt obsolete. And then when I moved to South London, I did feel a shift because I was surrounded by more people that appreciated the way that I was, and I was quite insecure. I used to see the reflection of my bum in the mirror and be like, oh my God, like why is it walking 10 minutes after me, and like things like that, and I would be very hard on myself. I didn't. That was beautiful, but then as I matured and I started to see the value in myself, that's when the confidence came, and the confidence is like a magnet, I find. So when you are insecure and you are doubting yourself, you do put out that kind of negative energy. But when you've got that self-assurity and this is me and I've got what I've got, and you hold and walk with your head up, it makes a difference to the energy and what you attract.
recently somebody asked me what I think is sexy. Was at a competition, and my honest answer to that, especially to women, is I find femininity sexy. So whatever part of your femininity makes you feel like you're hot, is whatever we're gonna roll with, innit? If you like your boobies, let's roll with that. If you like your butt, if your legs go to the middle of the equator, that's your business.
Like these.
Yeah. but to know your power is beyond sexy.
Okay, I agree with that. I co-sign that. What do you think, Chef? Do you agree? To know your power, to know your inner beauty, and to know what works with you.
Owning your truths,
Yeah.
your insecurities. I agree. So we're all different, we're all not perfect, but knowing that these are the things that make me unique, and saying I'm not going to be ashamed of what I am, is a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, go sign.
And a woman that's not afraid to go for what she wants, I think that's very sexy. A beautiful mind is a very sexy thing.
Yeah, it is indeed. But I think with your photography, like you say, women be like, I'm not going to shoot naked. A lot of your work, there is nudity in your work, and I think it's beautiful. Like I have done some nude shots. I've done some art nude, and I like it. I think the female body is beautiful.
I got to give a shout out at this point to Lex and a good friend of mine called Tosin. It was her birthday recently, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right. So when I first met Tosin was like, yeah, nah. And now I think she comes and poses every year around her birthday. So, but it's all that, but like with all these things, it's all about approach. And like even I've been in the situation which you might find quite weird, that models have come to pose and are like, no, don't pose like that. What? You're not little Kim. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't want to. It has to have class.
Yeah. So it's the class, it's the line. But then you come across people who just see the nudity and don't read what we will call the visual narrative or the visual cues behind it, positioning, light and shadow, dark, blah 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 blah. So we got a lot of that. We see something for not what it is, and we're projecting that both on black men and black women. Okay. Like, so I always say I like elegance. I don't like stushness. Now elegance is one thing and stushness is another.
Difference between pride and I'm too nice.
That's too nice.
Like,
so the story I always tell is another fashion show. I saw this lady and she was just my style. I was like, and she just went, oh. I was like, you know what, back up, I'm going for a spliff. Yeah, right. And then another model went.
Do you know who that is?
You know who that is?
Shame on you, girl. Shame on you, honey.
I don't think I'm a person to comment on. Do you know who that is? That don't think I was arrogant here. But again, it goes back to that point I make. Be aware in the situation you are of what's going on, and don't bring your nonsense with you. Do you know what I mean? Because you miss an opportunity every time.
True. People should be humble. I do believe that, and I feel like when I was growing up, like I said, I was a bit of a misfit. I had locks since I was 8. My mum was in the fashion business and the kiss curls and the gel, and I was very much.
That was one way and done.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like I'm very humble. I'm still that little funny looking fat kid. I know that I feel like I've got to my swap. I'm still quite humble. It's a compliment. Every man that comes up to me, I appreciate it. And sometimes women have got that kind of stink attitude, like, why is it to me? If you come disrespectfully, then you will get something back. But I do think you should appreciate someone's appreciation.
I'm pretty sure, especially in London, it's not so bad in Europe, not so bad in America. 80% of black women I encounter, even some of the white women I encounter, can't take a compliment. What?
That's something that you bring up in your book, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't take a compliment. Like, because obviously I could be a rapist. Yeah, I could be. But although statistically,
what is it?
No. Although that is true, I could be. I could be a danger to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I of course, I'm taking it to extreme.
Yeah.
But I could be a danger to you. Although statistically, black males are not usually unsubs, but let's not go there. Right?
Okay.
Now, it's all about the approach,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but it's also about 80% of what we say is not in our speech. It's in our body language.
Yeah.
How you come
How you come across your presence.
Yeah.
So certain people, I know I make certain people nervous because I'm just free like that, and
Yeah,
it
you're
makes
very-
them
You're
yeah.
like, ah,
Whatever.
and you just say
If
what
you're
you
not-
want to
if
say.
you're not used to it, it can come up.
Yeah, and I think at first.
Yeah, but I don't agree in being used to something or
No.
not, yeah,
Aye.
because like the aliens could come tomorrow. Get used to it, innit? Like,
But I can understand you're very straight down the line. You say what you want to say, but that can be intimidating to some people, and they're not used to that level of rawness.
it's
Yeah.
not raw. It's
Or
honesty. It's just I live in my truth,
A lot of people don't know.
And
and this is where we're trying to get to, though, isn't it? This is why we do what we do. That's why you feed people's bellies, because you want them to have a different experience in the world.
So, can we load up some of Emerz's imagery? I want to show the audience some of your beautiful, beautiful work, and he'll let me know when it's
How
ready.
embarrassing, folks.
Why? What's
I'm
embarrassing?
just.
He said he's lying. That's a lie.
It's like it's me and my cat and humor. Like I feel like if you can take the piss out yourself, you can survive in this
no
world.
one else will too.
Yeah. But I think your work is beautiful, and so you've got your new book out, which is Welcome to My Tribe.
Guys, welcome to the tribe.
Welcome to
my tribe. Peace out. Shout out to
It
Marvin.
seems to me
Right, then there's some
that
guys I
the
DJ with sometimes.
artist
You know, I did this
struggle
for you. You know, I put the stars in
for his
just
integrity
Oh yes, it can go on TV. I thought
is a kind of metaphor.
So, you create all of the body paint. You sit there and do you have a
Must
image
be
in your
considered
mind
as a
and
metaphor.
stuff? I bet it
For
looks
the
funny.
struggle.
See, this is why you got
Which is
too much
universal.
sauce.
As a photographer, you can't
Human
be,
You can't be that way.
Yeah, you can't be
can't
that
be
on
way.
the
that.
face
Well,
of
We
this
paint the
terrifying world
So
to get to
I,
become
you know
human
when you do
beings.
this, and obviously I'm of Caribbean heritage,
It's
even though I
uncalled
do have quite an
It's
Afro-centric,
unmindful
quite a tribal
that
thing
I
about me.
like.
So you gotta be careful. So I had to do my research. Maasai, like Delta Plains, so that's basically Shaka's, all the Shaka's warriors down up to Yoruba, Ashanti, and funny enough, Ashanti you don't really use tribal markings that much. They use a lot of materials and stuff, but they don't use tribal markings. So, and then it got to this point where, as you do the more the research, you start looking anywhere that the diaspora has taken our people. You start going to South America, like Puerto Rican, like Aztec, all this stuff. So that style there is based in a lot of Yoruba scarification, like things, and with a little bit of Maasai tribal, like block writing in it. I usually use that, a lot of Maasai masks style or that kind of style, and a lot of like Zulu plains. They were like warrior cast things. So they either cut them or they scar them.
Could we show the imagery? You continue to talk, but with the audience will be able to see your imagery on the screen.
So I've got this thing about putting dots on people, and I think dots is like
the slideshow with the
yeah. So 1 dot 1 kill. But I'm not talking about killing nobody.
That's like that's in what's it called? Black Panther, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's 1 dot 1 kill. But like when I talk about 1 dot 1 kill, I talk about what I personally mean with it is that idiot woman on the bus or that guy at work, who just says them stupid things all the time, and you know he's being funny, but there's nothing you can quite say. You just go, I've got to breathe. I'm gonna breathe. Or when my mum tells me, no, get a proper job. Or every battle that you have to face to get just one step closer to where you are, to who you are. So that's kind of my representation in it.
Okay, so sorry, we haven't technically, could we see the slideshow with the photographs from Emerzy? So we've got a few images from Welcome to the Tribe, and some of your other work, some of your fashion show work. Because you do a lot of the fashion shows. You're very well recognised. Well, your work is.
I'm around, innit? Like there's other mans in the scene, and I'm this guy. I like Tupac said this. I'm everybody else's biggest fan. So I love to be inspired. Like so, my work is not like I hope my work inspires, but it's. I'd rather look at somebody else's than my own work. You know what I mean? So
It's like cooking.
yeah.
Chef, do you like eating other people's food?
No.
No. We're gonna get to that. Right, the images are up. It's so funny. Like, right, we're gonna get to you in a sec. But if we look at some of the images on the screen now, like these are some of the images from Welcome to the Tribe. Absolutely beautiful, stunning,
That's my homegirl Lex that I was talking about. Big up Lex.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful imagery. You can follow, you can see all of this on Welcome to the Tribe on Instagram.
Hashtag yeah, welcome to the tribe. And then my other ones are
And
Emerzy
that's some of you
Corbin.
there actually painting.
Ah.
I love these images. I like
Do you know
the tribal and then the urban background.
Background, yeah.
Wicked, brilliant.
The funny thing is, we did quite a few of this, and there's one of Sidney
This is
Kushi.
from Reflex, isn't it?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
This is for a new project we're gonna do.
Okay.
And the lady in that picture.
I love her. She's my girl crush. Samurai, isn't it?
Oh, so she trains with Lex. They all like
She
train a
is-
block workout, and that's Lex again.
Okay.
So that project, that's really important actually, I want to plug that project. That project there is the lady who's in that picture.
Mhm.
She went away and she got assaulted sexually.
Oh.
And now she's trying to like heal herself by kind of like putting on a project, doing like a photography shoot and doing some video stuff.
Yeah.
So anybody who feels that they can connect with that,
Okay. Well, we've
Send
definitely
them my
put some
way.
links
yeah.
to their pages so that people can write in and try and speak to her, because that's a really, really good cause. I love this image. This is actually, I know this beautiful lady here as well.
SB.
Chanel. And
Nutter.
Atu, she's wearing one of my good friends and designers, Keely from Atu Foundation. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that's I think Black Women's Fashion Show.
Yeah, I've walked in Black Women's Fashion Show.
Yeah, that was a crazy one, that one, because I was supposed to be there and then I got like triple booked or something silly like that.
Okay, we're back. But yeah, I mean, your work is absolutely amazing, and I'm really, really, really happy to have you. And I think keep doing you. You're setting trends, you're opening minds, and you're pushing. So
I appreciate you saying that.
yeah, look, it's actually sweet and quiet now for once. But yes.
Oh yeah, I then you wanted to change that. What's wrong with you?
I like it. Come back to the sweetness. Let's go back to Mr. Sweetness himself.
Oh, Koshka!
We got Chef Adoniz now.
What's up, darling? How are you?
I'm very good.
Thank you
I'm
for
very
having me. I
good.
really appreciate it.
No, I'm really, really happy to have you. Like, we've actually been friends for quite a while now. Actually, I met you when I really first started. We were in that group together. What was the group name of the group? It was a very crazy group, but it was a WhatsApp group for creatives.
Yeah.
And then we started talking there, and
Hey,
then
who set that one up? Was it like
a girl called, I don't know what to say her name right now.
I
Oh,
know you know what I said.
Yeah. No, right now.
was she
Anyway.
a designer, jewelry
Yes.
maker type person?
Yes, she was
Yeah.
very.
I was in
good
that group.
character.
I left it in about
10 minutes. But
4,
I must
3.
say, as much as I had some crazy experiences in that group, I met some amazing people. I met Chef, I met Ras King Bobo, who I do a lot of work with, and we started speaking back then when I first started my poetic journey, and then we've been friends ever since really, and we've been performing together. We both go to Flow. You've been supporting me, and I'm really happy to support you. Your food is to die for. He wowed me with a nice meal, tried to feed me with a dinner.
Hearts and minds, bro. Hearts and minds.
The way to a lady's heart is through her stomach. There's a couple of other ways,
That's
but
where
we're
she
not
got
going to talk
them solid
about
legs.
that
That's
on
where she
the
got them
show.
solid legs from. Loves food.
Not with those little portions you gave me, mate.
Mum said always keep them wanting more, innit? So
Which is true, and I definitely wanted more. So tell what kind of food, tell the audience what kind of food you cook, and how did you get into being a chef?
I've been a chef 12 years now,
Okay.
and I specialise in English and French fine dining.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do all the stuff like MasterChef stuff, like purees, reductions, foams.
Confit.
So my background is mainly being hotels, restaurants, working under celebrity chefs, and that's what my career's been for the last 10 years.
Okay.
10 years. And I think when I kind of created the whole Chef Adoniz imagery and the concept himself, he's kind of grew into his own alter ego. You see how Beyonce's got Sasha Fierce.
It happens.
So basically I created Chef Adoniz just for myself, So my own kind of project where I felt like I need to do more stuff for myself. So I created him. I was like, I'm a chef. I'm good looking. Why can't I call myself this?
He's big and strong.
And then since then, it's just kind of took up its own life really. All the dishes on there are dishes that I've created, made myself.
Can we load up the slideshow of some chef's food so the audience can see? Keep talking. But
Health warning, people.
yeah, hungry warning. Literally, when I was getting these images, I was licking the screen. Oh my god, monkfish and look, here we go. Oh, look at this food. It's amazing.
That dish I won a competition in January.
Okay.
So that was.
What is that? We've got monkfish. It's monkfish, isn't it?
It's a monkfish. It is a microcrest. Microcrest.
Yeah, one of those.
Something. I've got so much things on that plate. If you look on my page, you will see it at Chef Adoniz.
The food, it just looks amazing. Yes, that's Chef Adoniz. Have a look at some of the food. And at the moment, you're in the process of creating your own cooking show, aren't you?
Yes, it's called Cooking with Adoniz. So from the time I started cooking, I've always been on my own cooking show, watched people like Ainsley Harriet growing up,
Yeah, me too.
and people
Can't-
like that.
can't
And I just feel like there's not enough representation of us in the food industry on TV. I feel like on TV, on YouTube, and I'm tired of seeing the same faces. So I feel like why not I do it and see what can happen of it. And it's one of the many big projects I'm looking to do, but that's just one of many things I have to walk
So-
before I can run.
You obviously specialise in English and French food.
Yeah.
So would you branch out? Like, you're saying about representation of our types of food on the web? Okay, so can we come back? We're still looking at food. I think we've seen it. But we'll keep talking. So would you do like Caribbean food or?
Over the next 10 years, I'm working on a Caribbean and Asian concept.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Caribbean food hasn't been taken to the heights that I think it can be taken to, where our food is just as good as every other culture's. It's just not presented in a world that's competable. So in my head, I've got street food concepts, I've got fine dining concepts. So
Can I ask you though, because I'm blessed enough to have travelled, yeah, and I feel like England has no understanding of street food. That whole concept of street food, cheap food, on the go, good food, that doesn't exist in England.
No.
Everything's like £12 a plate.
No, they've taken the street food concept and made it into basically its own version of something that's very small and expensive. Because you're paying like £12 for a mac and cheese that might have lobster in it or something, but it's pasta. It's a dairy based sauce. So street food in this country is not cheap.
But the type of food, like the type of food that we have here, like British food, it's not really street food. It's more, I don't know, like a roast kind of thing. Whereas in Asia, there's lots of little nibbly bits and things.
Oh, it depends how you see it, because England is the most refugee population since before like the Romans turned
Yeah, I
up.
suppose you've got everybody here.
So what's teas from India, chips is from Spain, curries from India, spag bowls from Italy, whatever. And I live in Shoreditch. I live like east.
Shoreditch
Then
is
you've got French influence, and then you've got Indian influences, the food, Caribbean. Like, what is really British?
That's the point.
It's true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So what kind of street food do you think you would do? Like, if you was gonna say like a street food concept, like for
So the idea for me
fried dumpling on the grill,
is to take a lot of our dishes and condense them down to simpler forms. So maybe like a Caribbean taco, or something. You're taking an Asian influence item like a bao bun and putting something like jerk pork in it.
Okay, this actually leads us quite well onto our talking point, because I thought today we was going to talk a bit about appropriation of culture, and specifically black culture. So when like we spoke about, like, we hear a lot about jerk rice or IKEA doing their jerk chicken and white rice and green peas, and then the whole world is like, what? That is not jerk chicken. Like, is that appropriation if you say you're going to do like a jerk taco? I mean, how is that fair to say? Or is it just evolution of food? Is jerk rice evolution of food, or is it just taking the mick? Sorry,
I don't feel like jerk rice is an evolution of food because they haven't elevated it. They haven't done something more with the food.
Well, that didn't even exist.
They've just changed it. And I feel like every dish that I want to do that might represent Caribbean food, if I feel like it's very authentic, I won't touch it on that sense. I will do my own interpretation of it.
Okay.
And if it comes to my own interpretation, it doesn't have to be classic. It's my interpretation of the dish I grew up on, and this is how I'm presenting it to you.
Okay.
You can't reinvent the wheel. Food has already been done. Everything's already been done food-wise. The reason why we get excited about food is because someone's take on it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give you a new take on things that I think would work. I think Asian food is very good and similar to Caribbean food because they use a lot of spices, a lot of flavors. They also come from a background where they're very poor at some parts, so they're not afraid to use the cuts that we used, obviously, because we grew up on cheap meat because that's all we knew, that's all we had available to us. But they're now delicacies now.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have a lot of hot dishes, a lot of cold dishes, a lot of spices. I feel like certain dishes for me, because I've got 12 years of experience in a lot of different things, I grew up on Caribbean food. I just didn't cook it. There was no need. My mum cooked it, my grandma cooked it. It was in my household. Asian food is something I've had from I had my first Chinese. So it's been something I know about, I just haven't dabbled in it. They're very strict in the regime of like, you can spend 10 years just cooking rice. You can be a sushi chef and you just learn to just roll the rice in itself. Like, there's very much a structure. So for me, it's like I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that and I'm thinking, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
And that excites me.
So the format of your show, what's the show about then? Like, obviously it's cooking, but how's it gonna work?
Okay, so the show's called Cooking with Adoniz, and the concept is me and my co-host basically having fun with food. We have 10.
Sounds saucy.
We have.
For once.
We have different.
I knew it'd be shots
We
fired.
have different concepts. We have different competitions, and my friend, he's not a chef.
Okay.
So it's the balance. It's the average man up against the chef. So you can relate to it.
Okay.
He's gonna make mistakes in the kitchen you would make. Where I want to beat him. He's my friend, but this is my life. So I'm gonna bring a chef point of view. He's gonna bring a real life point of view. He's gonna bring the average man, and I'm gonna bring the chef to it. But also the concept of the show is to basically try new things. I always want to do dishes that you can do in your kitchen. So sometimes I won't use scales. I might use cups because everyone's got a cup in the house. There's so many different ways you can make food with things in your house. You don't have to have the best mixer or the best blender. You just have to have the same things and just use them in inventive ways.
That applies to everything though. People always telling me, oh, what camera you use, how many megapixels, and if you ask me, I couldn't actually tell you, because the rules of engagement haven't changed for the last 150 years, and that's kind of how we go into it. I think it's interesting that you say that you come in it as a chef and like you had no need to like cook West Indian food because you are like I have a thing I say I'm not pro black, I just am black. I think it's the same thing applies with photography. There's certain things that they've been selling us for a little while. Like you'll be watching Channel 5, if you watch Channel 5, and this advert comes on. Oh, please give £3 to whatever orphan, fly on its nose, tears running down its eyes, But Africa's got more wealth than the rest. They've been pillaging it for the last 200 years, and they still haven't managed to kill it. Do you know what I mean? It's still producing more wealth. In terms of social appropriation, like there's a problem I have. I wish more people in my peer group would stop buying Nikes and buy shares in Nike.
Or create their own brand.
I don't mind if you like. Some people don't have that foresight. Like we were talking about being creatives, being artisans, whether you're a chef.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. It's alchemy. It's magic. Not everybody's ready for that.
Yeah.
And like when you start saying stuff like that, it's alchemy. It's magic. That raises whatever pseudo-Christian, blah 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 blah, for whoever what, and they're like, yeah, I'm not even getting involved with that. That sounds like some pagan witchcraft thing.
Yeah.
But it's not, because I understand that. Another element is something else. I still use analog film, and sometimes you develop something at a certain speed, at a certain pace, and it just looks a certain way, and you're like, wow, there's a magic there. Same comes from food. We as a people have a lot of that magic. Through slavery, through colonialism, we still manage to maintain that magic. So here's the thing with it: if you see somebody who shines like that, you're going to want to shine like them. my issue with it all, with the whole social appropriation thing, is we don't realise how much we shine. We're sending girl children to school with 2-box braids, yeah, because mummy could not be bothered for real.
The doo-doo
plants.
In my household, I never got no nice styles.
You get what I'm saying?
I had to go with them.
But then Kim Kardashian does it, and next thing I know, it's a boxer braid.
Yeah, and this is I was talking a bit earlier about, for example, twerking. I said, somebody asked me, I remember when this is a good few years ago, someone was like, oh, can you twerk? And I was like, no, what's twerking? I don't understand. And then he showed me, I'm like, that's just shaking your body.
Yeah, but you know, that's spiritual. Do you know what I mean? That goes back millennia.
Yeah, but we've been dancing and doing it for years, but now it's become a thing. Like, twerking is a thing. Miley Cyrus went out there with her no back and shook her back, and now twerking is worldwide. Everyone can do it.
You know, the twerking champion of the world is like some woman from Poland.
That's what I'm saying. So our culture becomes like the black pound.
Because we don't take these things that seriously.
Yeah, maybe.
The black pound, the black culture is very, very strong. And people take it and they make a whole load of money off it, but we don't necessarily do that. When you're saying, for example, get shares in Nike. Like, for example, I'm somebody that doesn't really buy into designers. Maybe because I'm broke and we never had money before.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you to buy £150 pair of Jordans. I'm asking you to buy £120 share certificate.
I agree with that. I agree.
Because it's a different flex. And like, also, we don't own our stuff. That's why it gets taken. Like, what was it, about 7 years ago, Gucci put out the Rastafarian colours and sold it back to us. I had mans on road rocking that. Like,
this is what I mean. But it's like, why? I've got a thing about brands and buying into that, and I think our youth today are so very much caught up in the material and the aesthetic, and having Giuseppe's and Balenciagas. They don't even know.
Listen, I can't even co-sign on that, because you buy Balenciaga for a reason, and I'll take it. I'll take it to something else. I'll take it to something else, and I'll explain myself. Right? I use a Canon. I use a Canon camera or a Mia camera. That is synonymous with £3.5 million of R&D. When I know R&D, research and development.
Okay.
Right. So I know when I press that button and I said I wanted to take a picture of that, it's going to take a picture of that. Yeah. And this is what brands are supposed to be synonymous with. When Louis Vuitton started, he used to get the studs made specially, the leather strapping made specially. Everything was his. Yeah, you can't copy that. And this is what brands are supposed to be synonymous. But somewhere around the mid-90s, it just got twisted. So I'm still kind of into brands in that way for things I do. So I'll go to Axe Minister. I like to carve things. I got a mallet from Axe Minister because I know. And there's certain knives.
And I know what you mean. I know it's true. Like, if I want a certain knife, I'll go Japanese.
Yeah, or blah.
Because you know you want the quality.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If you want to get
not
lit,
for name's sake.
Yeah, but if you want to get lit, you don't buy cheap liquor.
Well, Glenn's will get you drunk.
Yeah, but Glenn's is not Tesco.
I ain't buying no
brand.
strong, honey. I'm gonna go get my Glen. Half an hour later.
Yeah, I mean, so this is where it's been thing. So I like Balenciagas. I can't even deny it, because that design of trainer is not everywhere. That kind of sock style trainer. Now, I'm not gonna go buy Balenciagas because I could buy a camera lens for that, and that's nonsense. I could go to Asia and get some real good copies for that money.
Yeah, and that's.
But
you like the.
I always do argue that point that brands have their uses, but you have to know what you're signing up for.
But I'm very much into like a lot of my photography and pictures that I do. I style myself, or I go out. I've been partying for years, and I'm known for my style. And it's not about cost or price or names for me. To be honest, the cheaper the better. It's about how I rock it. I make my own style. I don't need to go and have like a Gucci mark on it or something to say, oh, it's Louis Vuitton. I don't mind. I still look good. And I can still rock it with the girls that are going and they're spending £500 on their Gucci bag and whatever else. I might have even more energy. So as much as maybe if I get rich, I might see it differently.
Well, I agree with you. Like, I'm not in certain clothes for clothes' sake. But there are certain things that I will spend the money on.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. It's an image thing. And I'm a firm believer, if you're in certain circles, if you don't look a certain way, they will look down on your image.
But that's what I'm saying.
So for me, like, if I was going to a dinner party and I know I've got obviously a Rolex obviously in the watch roll up in my cupboard, and I've got the £2 brogues. I'm gonna put on the £2 brogues and wear the watch because I know certain man gonna look at you a certain way.
Certain women gonna look at you a certain way.
That too, but you know that you go into certain environments, they're going to look at you a certain way, so you have to put your best foot forward to change just the way they look at you.
But then that's what I'm saying. But then doesn't that mean that wearing that is what makes you? Because you have
no. But my dad used
But
to
the
tell
way
me,
that they
and my
see
sister,
that,
Sometimes he can give you the edge. It can
And
give
like-
you the edge that you need just to tip the balance.
Just let them open their ears. For example, my sisters and my dad say men can't wear cheap shoes. Men cannot wear cheap shoes, cheap clothes, and
men. It's more. It's harder for
I
boys.
agree, man. Yeah, for me as a man, his footwear is most important. He could wear an expensive pair of trainers, a cheap pair of jeans, and a cheap jeans and a cheap t-shirt, and it'll be alright.
Yeah.
But the footwear is an important
see
thing.
that? Yeah. See the layer of polish on my shoes. I'm not joking.
Always, I think everyone always has on your shoes.
Yeah, it's a thing as well. Like, and then you can't really wear a cheap watch either because, like, it says a lot about you. I got this thing. I call it a photographer's sixth sense, right?
Yeah.
You can tell a lot about a person. Shoes they wear, the gait of their walk, their speech pattern. Not so much what they say, but their speech pattern. So that's the way they arrange words.
Yep.
Nail beds.
What? How to think of clean?
Fingers.
Well, no. Forget all that cleanliness thing. Whether,
But that's key as well.
well, it's key as well, but that pertains to something else. My sister said if you want to keep your nails clean, you can put them anywhere you want. But that's another thing.
That's another day.
Right.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay, I caught up.
how the cuticles, how the nails impact. It said like whether they type a lot, whether they write a lot, like any calluses. Yeah. These
What kind of
things-
job they do.
Yeah, it shows you what you can sometimes tell, and a watch will tell you somebody's person whole, whether they work in a bank, whether they're an architect, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Diver's watch, chronographs, leather strap.
Because maybe like an architect,
Yeah.
he'll have a watch that rotates a certain way.
So I mean, there is space for brands, but I still think you can still rock your own style.
No,
You
we're
don't
not
have to.
arguing you can have your same
But
chair,
we
it's
are
fine.
getting close. Time's ticked by.
You got 10 minutes,
we've got about
man.
10 minutes. So I would really like to get some of the hot sauce from the chef. Are you gonna share a poem with us, aren't you, chef?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
And I think which I think I requested one, didn't I? So
You requested I am chocolate.
I am chocolate.
You're
Yes.
over. You're not
Ladies,
that down.
so chef, if you could step up to the mic.
Sexy
And
guy.
I am chocolate. Give me that sweet chocolate, honey. Sweet like chocolate, boy.
Sexy guy.
Too much sauce.
Yeah.
I'm only doing this because you want me to.
That's Heinz,
Okay,
Jollof, every sauce.
huh? It's fine. It's just there's mics all around, so nice and
This is
loud.
for your request, yeah?
Yes.
I am chocolate. Grandma, can I have £1 to go to the shop, please? Brittle, forget Mr. Tom's. Pick and mix, not the candy man. What I'm nestled with goes beyond the Snickers and nuts I'm carrying. Taken for a coconut. The one wants me to be an overpriced bounty. I will melt in your mouth and not flake on you. I'm solid, but I'm not kidding. What I am is bar none, nutty as I can still be miles apart. I can be fruity but never off topic. Arrows, I'm all about the bubbles. Light results on first taste, love, and I mess with her being. I come equipped to kit to not cap. Others break off more than my biscuit center. What was meant to be seen and not heard but basically whisper. After school, girls copped that with my change on my chomps. Secondary school antics, budging me top floor double deckers. Back then I had game confidante. Couldn't get to notice even with a nudge. I'm more confectionary, not involved in my fudge. I'm really trying to Wonka. Sightsee on my chocolate city. Cocoa, Cadbury is what she's after. They want to reach the top like my shard, but my Toblerone has better views. You get my boy Reese's Pieces, but I find it hard to get a peanut feel. I get told it's chunky. As I'm the king of sweets and lion bars, women not for the girls, and dog this Yorkie. I'm the gold member. Golden balls. My favorite Roche. Let's need a timeout. Dream of a threesome, I can call it Twix. Once seeing a counterpart with a curl, mouth, tongue, still touch, little twirl. Nutrient center, scared with a lisp. Messed to so many red bones, packaged that toffee crisp. Banter, got me to revel in it. The brazen balls, I love malt and nose. They call me a teaser. Come cover my raisinets. As I'm only naked about a sucked up feeling like Milky Rolls, like eating unwrapped celebrations. Or trying to get to Quality Street, right? I'm chocolate. I'm ice cream. I'm a brain freezer. But melts in your mouth and becomes a taste pleaser. I want an occasion whether a packed meal or a gathering for eating. Outdoors a straight topic. I'm a picnic. I'm between the worlds from reality to real fantasy, like a drifter. Indulgent, I can be sickly. If you can't handle the munch, have to fully break me to enjoy the crunch. I'm always being battling myself. Me, so I can call this an Eminem moment. Frog around princesses, being seen as a Freddo. Lots of voices to afford carrying my echo. Remember a time? Only gold I ever knew was a chocolate ring in a bag. I go through so many trials and tribulations whenever I'm feeling sad. Chef Adoniz.
Thank you. Yeah, click.
Hope you like that,
click.
Mr. Photographer.
Yeah. You're the chocolate wonder, bro. I just say I'm just a squirrel trying to get the nut in that Snickers you were talking about.
Hey, Mr. Your peanut bars, yeah?
Right, so we are running out of time. So quickly, are there any thank yous that you'd like to send out there? Acknowledgements?
You first.
Go on, Chef.
Chocolate one.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and when I look back over the next 10 years or 20 years of this journey, I can always say that my God had my back, and I really appreciate it. So for me, it's not where I'm going, it's where I'm coming from. That's most important. So thank you.
No, thank you for coming, man. It touched me. These sweet, smooth in it. Smooth. Wow. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Oh, you're talking about it.
Okay, let me calm myself.
Wow.
Come on, you've got big shoes to fill now.
Yeah, I know. I gotta thank you as
Take
well.
sexy pictures, bro.
I gotta thank JB. Gotta thank my pops. Always gotta thank my pops. He allowed me to be a weirdo. Love that about him. Soul, Lex, Rich Bar, Kaiser Soze. Don't know.
That's all it. I like him.
That's a solid name.
Yeah.
Unusual Suspect.
Yeah, Usual Suspect.
Love that movie.
Who else? Yeah, and you know what? That Wasteman Black website. Yeah.
And for me, I would like to send a shout out to my friend Mo from Moetry, who recently had an accident, but he's fine and is recovering. But Moetry, the show must go on. So tomorrow, Just Moetry will be at Just Moetry meets Dom's Kitchen, which is a brilliant vegan chef. So there's a night on in Catford tomorrow, which I'm going to be stepping in to host for my buddy Mo. So you'll see me there tomorrow. And I'd just like to thank all of the viewers and the people who've been watching, everybody who's been messaging me and telling me how well the show's been going. I'm glad that you're watching. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Thank you to my guests for coming and making it such an amazing show. It's been great having you.
Wow.
And also, guys, I've been nominated for Best Spoken Word Artist of the Year 2019. I would really, really like if you could vote for me. At the end of the day, I feel like a winner anyway, but still, it would be fantastic to win. So go to thepoetryawards.com and vote. And also, you can follow me on Instagram at Naturally Poetic, where you can see some of my poetry, some of the shows, some of my modelling.
One day, just one day she'll come shoot with me.
Whatever, man. I've been wanting to shoot with this guy. Like, I want to shoot with you. It's gonna be an absolute honor. I'm getting on naked and stuff. Get naked, get the meat out, get some paint.
The things you do with chocolate, shut up. Don't speak no more.
We should bring the
chocolate's involved.
Chef can come and do a shoot as well, man.
Bro, the funny thing is, we don't actually ever use chocolate. Like, we always use
We're diverging.
No. Chocolate gets everywhere. Everywhere.
Anyway, guys, we've got so much to talk about. You've been amazing guests. It's been an amazing show. Come back, catch us next week where we have amazing Daryl Blake, I know him for being a DJ, but he's out there doing amazing things, mentoring. He's going to Cambridge, he's giving lectures. And we're also going to have Miss Yankee next week, who's amazing flow poet. She's just like, so it's going to be a great show. Make sure you tune in. Natural Right Show, naturally on Heritage TV, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. See you next time.
Merit Abode, Nigeria Limited, Emery, Garden City. Merit Abode, Nigeria Limited, Emery, Garden City.
Moses Star, my wife told me that you have bought a land and complete a good-looking duplex on it.
Yes, from buying the plot to the completion only takes less than 3 months.
What about Omonile?
Omonile like how? I didn't deal with them. I bought the land from Merit Abode Nigeria Limited.
Merit Abode?
Yes, Merit Abode. Rachel Onega and Prince Jide Kosoko are the ambassador for Merit Abode, and these two individuals boost my confidence and trust that make me to buy from them. And that is not all. They even helped me in building our new home. I only visit the site on completion to collect our keys and exchange paperwork, which amounts to more than double savings. Usually, for people like us living abroad, you have to take time off work so many times to travel back home to do the work, or the Yahoo contractors will show you big time.
Yes, I was wondering, as I always see you every week.
Let me tell you, I was in Nigeria for only 4 days and everything is campaign EQS. I didn't lose money by not going to work. Merit Abode is the best.
What about the cost of calling them every day?
They use UK number, so you will not be running up the phone bill to call them.
I beg, give me their details.
Telephone 020-3865-8087 or 081-734-47111. Email info@meritabode.com. Their website is www.meritabode.com. Merit Abode Nigeria Limited is the developer for Emerald Garden City Estate Series. You can even pay by installments. Our locations are Shimawa, Ibejuleki, Arepo, Agbara, Ikorodu, Mowe Ofada, and Asheshe. Merit Abode, build my confidence and trust.